After police responded to 3 separate shootings within minutes of each other on Saturday night, neighbors say they're not only concerned about safety, but wondering what can be done to stop the violence.
I am praying for my neighborhood.
The first shooting happened around 8 that night. A woman was shot at the Dollar Tree in the Cloverleaf neighborhood. Then around 8:30, officers responded to another shooting, this time in the Shawnee neighborhood near 44th and Broadway. And minutes after that, a 9-year-old was shot in the arm on Greendale Drive in the St. Denis neighborhood during a drive-by shooting. Neighbors who heard those shots ring out say the violence has them on edge.
It breaks my heart. It truly does. And I feel like that people need to band together.
According to the Louisville Metro Gun Violence Dashboard, last year there were 150 homicides in the metro and 157 in 2022, compared to 412 non-fatal shootings in 2023 and 447 in 2022. As part of the solution, Representative Keturah Herron plans to refile legislation similar to House Bill 326, which he sponsored last year.
It will allow us to come up with a collective, collaborative approach that is holistic.
The bill would create a state office of safer communities, which would be similar to Kentucky's Office of Drug Control Policy. People would collect data and make recommendations related to gun violence, child abuse, suicide, and domestic violence.
The other thing that it would do is to get us to work collaboratively at the state level with our local jurisdictions and our federal jurisdictions to say, what do we need to do? How do we get some of that money and resources into the state to disseminate out to people who are doing the work?
Herron says while this piece of legislation won't change everything, it would allow leaders and the community to work together.
And then start to think broader about what are other things that we need to do to, one, assist those people who have been impacted, but then also prevent this from happening.
Jamie Mays, WLKY News.